Good morning. We're up a little bit higher this morning here. Well, not too much higher. We're just above Magdala. I brought you up here for 3 reasons. And the biggest one will be last. I want to show you this. Look at these flowers. Isn't this exquisite? The middle of December. These have been blooming for the last 2 weeks, approximately. Maybe a little longer, but I noticed them about before, as we started the retreat. They were already in bloom at the beginning of the retreat, so I presume they're at least 2 weeks coming. Maybe they were there sooner. I didn't notice before that. And there's a lot of other growth as well. There's a completely white one, but they have that pink color. So one of the reasons I brought you up here today, the first reason is to see all the new growth in the nature. And another reason is we're promised starting at 4 p.m. this evening, heavy rain for the next 10 days. The only break right now, and the prognosis is Sunday. So that means we won't be coming up on the mountain because it gets too sticky. Besides, it might be raining, can't go out with the camera. But I wanted to show you where the nature is at right now. Look at all this growth here. This is new growth after the dry summer because of the rain we had a couple of weeks ago. And you can see it everywhere. Look at this, is wild sage. Can you smell it? That'll be the day when the app will allow us to do that. So we're going to go down. The big third reason I came up is to show you the archaeology from a bird's eye view. The new discovery that we had announced on Sunday, which Sunday was a great day of joy, and because of the liturgical themes, but it was a great day of joy in Magdala because of the public announcement of our new synagogue. So we have 2 synagogues in Magdala, and I want to take you over there to see that from up on high. It will be a different kind of picture, and as we go there we can have a chat. There's not too much sun this morning. There was a small little sliver about 3 minutes before I got the live stream going. So it wasn't I didn't make it for you. But we can see the sun surely is rising. Maybe we'll have a chance later on. We've often been surprised, even in cloudy days, that the sun comes out. I'm just negotiating my way here. I have a stick for balance just in case. As we cross this terrain, there were 2 jackals over here playing when I came up over the brow there this morning. And there are cows over here right now in the center of the screen, but my hand is tied up holding the stick, so I'll get to that later. And we can zoom in and see them. So the readings today are interesting. I'm fascinated by the fact that a lot of the readings now in Advent, I don't know, I haven't had that awareness directly in that way before, but a lot of them are directed at our will, because life is not just information. Life is relationship. And relationship can be difficult. And life is also responsibility. And that's part of relationship as well, because we respond to others. Like parents respond to the cry of their child. and we all have a little compassion one way or another, hopefully, for the poor. The Lord hears the cry of the poor is our psalm today. And sometimes we're in our comfy zone and it's hard for us to move. Or the Lord comes into our life and we prefer He didn't. Isn't that amazing? Because we would be in that relationship with Him. And the gospel story is very interesting in that way as well, because we have a father and two sons, and he says to one, do something. And the kid says, yeah, I'll do it, Dad. And then he says to the other fellow, do it. And the other fellow said, I'm not going to do that. But at the end of the day, the one that did it was the one who first of all refused. And the one who had all the big words that he was going to do it didn't do it. Very human situation, very human condition. And obviously what counts is getting it done. We can have our moments of interior rebellion. Sometimes it can last a longer time. And our will is not willing. We are not willing. You remember that proverb, where there's a will, there's a way? So it's not so much about knowing, it's sometimes our will that doesn't allow us to see the way. But the person who really wants to get something done, that person is surely going to find a way to do it. Like, imagine parents with a very sick child. They're going to pull out all the stops. They're not going to take no for an answer at the pharmacy store, at the medical care center. They're just going to pull out all the stops. How many people have been told there's no cure for this, and people keep trying and keep pushing, and that's how humanity has made so many efforts. Imagine Edison. They say that he tried to do the light bulb 999 times. I'm not sure if that's actually historical, maybe it is. But President Lincoln ran so many times for office before becoming president, and he failed so many times. So this is very enlightening, about the role of the will, how much we need to engage our will. I want to get a better angle to get a better view of the archaeology for you here. So the bush is getting in the way here. I need to find a spot where we can look down on from above on the new synagogue that has just been publicized here at Magdala. The old synagogue from the 1st century, imagine. So they're out here working already. You can see them down there. I won't focus yet for a little moment until I get a better spot. It's not too bad. See if I get over here if we'll do better. I don't think we will. I think we're pretty good here. I just have to get down a bit here. It's a bit steep, so I'm going to hold your footing there, people. And at the end of the day, then we can't even force our will because we need grace. We are weak. So it's not just an act of pure willpower. In fact, the church has very strong teaching that doesn't cut it. That we need grace. We need a gift of grace. We need to ask for it. Yeah, I got a very good spot, I think, right now. And we have more of these beautiful flowers right here at our feet. Just down here, if you can see them right there on the rock. There's one right here behind the stripes. Oops. Hey, I found a little trick. Somebody told me that there's this software that goes with this gimbal. And I think it just came to the rescue, so I turned it on. One of our volunteers, the young people are the ones who know all this high tech. And one of our volunteers said to me yesterday, turn on the I think it's called DIG or something software, and then you're all set. So this is good. So now I'm going to focus on this, just checking the time here. So we're still pretty good. So now let me focus in here on the archaeology, and we're right above the synagogue. So you can get an aerial view. We're quite far away, as you can see. We're right above it. So it's down here behind this green tarp in this space here. So there you see the rows of seating. The first space right behind the tarp is the synagogue there in the center. So you have a wall to the right and a wall over to the left. And then you can see like a pathway around it. We can't see the western side here because it's down below the tarp. But you can see on the right and on the left kind of a very strong path made with ashlars around. And then there's a row of seating and there's plaster there. And then we can actually see into the little room right here to the right, just beside the light post, the electricity post here. And that little room right behind the tarp has plaster, and it has a bench. And we have a very similar one like that in our synagogue over here, which we found then in 2009, 12 years ago. You see, this is our guest house. In here you see this is the roof of the synagogue. And where you see that screen hanging down from the middle of the roof to protect the frescoes from the sun, in there you have the extra little room that actually has a very special, unique mosaic floor with a special design in it. And so it's in a similar position. It's in the southwest corner of the synagogue, just like this one is. It's also amazing that we have these two synagogues so close together. You know, there you can see right now. Let me see if we fix this way. There you can see both synagogues in the same picture. So here at the bottom, on the left, is the new discovery. And up on the right, towards the top, you see that separate isolated roof beside the guest house hotel. You can see there, that's where the other synagogue is. And you see the size of the car. So I would say at the most, I haven't measured it, but less than 200 yards. Be interesting to measure it exactly to see how far apart they are. And if you also notice here, from this angle here, we can't see it all because of the angle. Maybe I'll try with another angle in the Instagram post now. But you can see how large the excavation is here, going from the blue tarp over on the left. They're actually doing a little bit beyond it as well, because now that whole area is potentially rich. And so we go past the synagogue, we go past the first electric poles, and then you have the second one, but it continues down further to the end of that dark strip, but we can't see much from here because the embankment is hiding it from us. So that's quite a long strip that's being excavated. They're working overtime. They've been very lucky with the weather for the last month. It's been very dry, relatively speaking, and now the next 10 days will become more difficult if the rain comes, but let's see how that'll all pan out. So people, I'm so happy that we accomplished our 3 goals. We came up here before the rain. You saw the new growth of nature, and then you also saw the archaeology from on high, and as we discussed, the readings. So people, God bless you. It's been a joy to be here with you, like always, here on Mount Arbel at the Sea of Galilee. Oh, I'm looking backwards. I was looking for the Sea of Galilee, and the camera's pointing up the mountain. So let me turn that around for you. So there you see the sea, and there's a little bit of sunlight, a bit more, so we didn't actually get to see the sun disk. The connection issue here. God bless you now. See you later, alligators.